Good morning, world. We know the importance of being organized when it comes to dealing with ADHD, but of course, anytime I mention the subject of calendar or scheduling to someone with ADHD who has not yet learned how to do their own calendar, there's always that resistance because it's a struggle. It's constricting. It's tough, especially for people with ADHD. But of course, once they figure out how to create their own calendar and make it work for them, they generally love it. And that is why today we're talking about 5 tips for making your calendar work for you and your ADHD. First is give yourself enough time to get things done. We have a tendency to place a whole bunch of things on a schedule and fill up the whole day, but not realizing how that not everyone works the same way. So make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to do things, not necessarily the time that it takes other people, but the time that it is going to take you. And of course, brings me to the next point, which is be sure to schedule in your breaks. Place your breaks on your calendar. Have them right there on your agenda, just like you have any other meeting. Because one of the things that often get people off track with calendars is stopping. If you stop, whether it's because you got distracted or because you needed a break or because you just got tired of attempting to do too much for too long when you needed a break, and then you get off track, and of course it's chaos from there. Schedule your breaks. 3, create categories as well as category markers. You want to make it as easy as possible to identify the things that are on your calendar, to get to a specific item, to get to see what's coming up, just to be able to get a visual of your calendar. So create categories. For instance, it may be things that you do for work, are different from the things that you have to do with your family, things for your children, or different sections of your work, whatever categories that you need to create. Not too many, because you don't want a whole rainbow of colors on your agenda that just becomes more play than an actual work agenda. So make sure create categories and create category markers. 4, make it accessible and with reminders. If you have to do 3-4 steps to get to your calendar, for instance, you have to unlock your phone, go to your apps, and then go to something else, and then finally get the calendar to open, you're doing way too much and you're giving yourself way too much time to be distracted by something. Your accessing calendar should be no more than 2 steps. Maybe you unlock the phone and then you tap on the calendar on your home screen. Maybe you flip open a calendar book. Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that your calendar is accessible. Actually, not the book, because the book does not beep. Make sure your calendar is accessible, and of course that it gives you reminders. That's why I love using the calendars on the phones, and I love using calendars on the computer, because they give you, and when it's time to do something, they remind you. You want your calendar to remind you, hey, it's time to be done playing because you have work to do. And finally, make it your own. One of the biggest struggles that people have with calendars is that they attempt to use the same type of calendar that everyone else does, but there are different ways that you can organize. Hey, if you need your calendar to go in a circle and that's what works for you, make a circular calendar, buy a blank book, create your agenda in a circle, whatever way works for you, but it needs to be something that works for you in it. If you need to draw things, if you need to have stickers, whatever works for you is what you need to have. As long as it is an actual organization system that helps keep you on track. Yeah, that's about it for today. Let's do a quick recap. 1, give yourself enough time to get things done, because when you don't, you end up falling off track, and of course, it all goes haywire from there. 2, make sure that you're scheduling your breaks and putting your breaks into your agenda just like you do any other meeting. And 3, create categories as well as category markers so that you can easily glance at your calendar and see what is going on or what you have coming up. And 4, make your calendar accessible, and of course make sure that your calendar has reminders to let you know when it's time to move on to the next task. And finally, make it your own, because it's about you. It's supposed to be helping you, so it has to be something that works for you, something that will make your life easier, not something that works for whomever. As I always said, I haven't said that in a while, but I should be saying it. If you're struggling with something, there's so much help out there. Reach out, look for something, look for someone, reach out and find the help that you need, because it's definitely out there and there's absolutely no need to be sitting there struggling all by yourself. That is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.